In the village of Alakaya, where the sun warms the earth, Nneka's life took an unexpected turn. Her parents, with determined expressions, sat her down on a woven mat in their modest mud brick home. The air smelled of roasted yam and palm oil, a comforting aroma that masked the tension in the room. "Listen, Nneka," her father began, his voice deep like the river Niger during the rainy season. "Our ancestors have guided us for generations. They whisper in the rustling leaves and dance in the flicker of fireflies. It is their will that you marry Chief Okoye." Nneka's heart fluttered like a startled bird. Chief Okoye was a man of many years, his skin etched with wrinkles like the ancient woolly patterns on the village walls. His wealth was legendary: cattle, yam barns, and a compound that sprawled like a mini village. But Nneka had seen the chief at the market, his eyes lingering on the young girls as if they were ripe mangoes waiting to be plucked. She shuddered at the thought of being his wife. "But father," Nneka whispered, her fingers tracing the intricate designs on her coral beads, "I am not ready. I want love, not duty." Her mother, wrapped in a vibrant Ankara wrapper, sighed. "Love is a luxury, my child. Duty is our currency. Chief Okoye will provide for you. You will wear the title of first wife with pride." Nneka's gaze drifted to the window, where the ube trees swayed in the breeze. Their purple fruit hung like promises, tempting her with secrets whispered by the wind. She imagined herself running through the cassava fields, her feet unbound by tradition, her heart free. Days turned into weeks and Nneka's resolve wavered. She wandered along the riverbank, her bare feet sinking into the mud. The sun painted her skin a deeper shade of brown, and her eyes mirrored the uncertainty of the water's ripples. Amaka, her childhood friend, joined her. Amaka's laughter was as infectious as the songs of the village birds. She wore her aquete headscarf with defiance, its vibrant colors a rebellion against fate. "Nneka," Amaka said, her voice low, "you cannot marry Chief Okoye. He is older than the hills, and his breath smells of bitter kola." Nneka chuckled. "Amaka, you always find humor in our troubles." "But this is not a jest," Amaka insisted. "Our ancestors may guide us, but they do not know the desires of our heart. We are not cassava tubers to be planted where the soil pleases." Nneka nodded. "I dream of love, Amaka. A love that blooms like the hibiscus flowers by the river. Is that too much to ask?" Amaka's eyes sparkled. "Then fight for it, Nneka. The winds carry whispers of change, but the tempest that reshapes our destiny." And so, Nneka stood at the crossroad, the path to duty on one side and the unseen trail of her heart on the other side. The whispering palms overhead seemed to urge her forward, their fronts brushing against her cheeks like the touch of forgotten ancestors. She vowed to herself, she will not be a reluctant bride. She will be the author of her own story, inked with defiance and woven with threads of love. In Alakaya, where the sun warms the earth, and the air smells of roasted yam and palm oil, Nneka sought solace. She wandered to the Whispering Pines, a sacred grove where the ancient statues stood guard. There, Nneka confided in her friend Amaka. They both wore their colorful Akwete headscarf. Amaka listened as Nneka spoke of dreams and defiance. The Whispering Pines seemed to echo their secrets, urging Nneka to be tempest that reshaped her destiny. Amidst the rustling leaves, Nneka vowed to follow her heart, even if it means challenging traditions. The spirits of her ancestors danced around her, their presence reassuring. Love, she realized, was worth more than duty. The village elders gathered under the shade of the Whispering Pines. They wore flowing agbada robes and their eyes held the wisdom of many years. Nneka stood before them, her Akwete headscarf adorned with coral beads, her heart pounding like the drums during the New Yam festival. Elder Okafor, his face etched with age, spoke first. Nneka, child of Alakahia, your parents have chosen well. Chief Okoye is a man of honor and wealth. His compound stretches like the Ogbunike caves, and his cattle graze upon the hills. Nneka's gaze shifted to the ground. She felt the weight of tradition pressed down on her. The elders murmured among themselves, their voices like the rustling of palm fronds. Elder Nwachukwu, his insibidi-marked face stern, leaned forward. Our ancestors smile upon this union. It is written in the sacred scrolls. The duty of our daughter is to obey. But what of love? Nneka blurted out, her voice echoing through the council chamber. Is love not a currency of the heart? Elder Nwachukwu raised an eyebrow. Love is like a harmattan wind. It comes and goes. Duty remains. Nneka's fingers clenched. She wondered if the elders' hearts were as unyielding as the Iroko tree. In the quiet night, Nneka cried alone in her small hut. The bead around her waist made soft sounds with each tear that fell. She felt trapped, like the fireflies that glowed outside, wanting to be free. Outside, the ube trees whispered to each other. Their purple fruits were like little promises, tempting Nneka with the thought of freedom. She wiped away her tears and made up her mind. The winds of change would help her, even if it meant going against what was always done. Nneka promised herself to go back to the Whispering Pines. There, among the old statues and under the big Iroko tree, she would find the strength she needed. The spirit of her family from long ago danced around her, telling her to be brave. Nneka met a man who told stories. He traveled from place to place and knew many tales. He wore a shirt with the patterns that had been washed many times. His eyes looked like they had seen many things. Hello, young one, he said with a smile. I can see you have a big decision to make. Nneka sat down near him, under the big Iroko tree. How do you know? She asked. The man laughed softly. The wind tells me stories. It talks about a girl who wants to find true love. Nneka nodded. But my family and the village want me to do what they say. They want me to marry a man I do not love. The storyteller looked at her kindly. Love is like the patterns we draw. It gets more beautiful when it's true. Sometimes, love is hidden in what we must do. Nneka thought about this. What should I do? He pointed to the hills. Over there's a village. In that village, there's a young man who dreams of love that his family doesn't want. And there's a girl who laughs and dreams of a path that leads to love, not just to what's always been there. Nneka felt hope in her heart. Can I really find such love? The storyteller's smile was warm. Yes, you can. But you need to be brave. Like the iroko tree that stands tall even when the storm comes.